What is going on, everybody? I go by Philly Mike, host of the Philly Talk podcast, but we are back with GOAT Talk, the podcast. Eagles 8-0 on a slight mini bye due to the short week, 10 days of rest. How we feeling, LB? I guess we feeling like we can't. We feel like we got some technical difficulties.
Yo, I have no idea what just happened.
You can hear me now?
Yo, I have no idea what happened, man. I can't hear shit. Hold on one second. Can you hear me, Mike?
I can hear you.
You can hear me? All right.
Yeah,
I'm about to, all right.
Hop out
I don't know
again.
what happened. Hold on.
Maybe I think. But again, this is what happens when you don't play on Sunday. We're not fully mentally prepared.
All right, I can hear you through the computer. I hope we're not getting no feedback.
No, we're not.
All right, we straight then.
All right, cool. So now that we got mentally prepared, see, this is why it's a good thing we're not playing Sunday. We just not into it, but we get to watch the NFL, the NFC East. Well, not all of them, but how you feeling coming off a short week W, getting the rest up for 10 days?
I'm feeling how we supposed to feel. You know what I mean? We 8-0. It's nothing more else to say about that. At this time, with this extended, rest period that we got, this mini bye, so to speak, it's time to start looking at the competition for real, for real. It's time to see how we can, start gaining some separation, because now I'm questioning the main thing for me is who's our competition in the playoffs? Like, who do we have to be better than at this point in the season? So I'm feeling really, really good about us. Listen, first time in franchise history being 8-0. It'll probably be it'll be our first time in franchise history being 9-0. We got a lot of great stuff to be happy about. I saw on Twitter that you mentioned that Jalen Hurts is the only quarterback with 3 guys with 40 receptions. You know what I mean? So we're willing and dealing on the offensive side of the ball. But it is one thing I'm concerned about, and I'm pretty sure we share the same concern. So I guess we're gonna get into that.
Yeah, a lot of the talk as of late with AJ Brown having back-to-back pretty good games is where's Devontae Smith? I think if you on Sunday you typed in Devontae Smith's name, there was a lot of Eagle fans that were like, where's Devontae Smith? Like, it was not super trending, but it was there. And if you look at the numbers, he got 40 receptions. If you look at all the wide receivers in the NFL, not just wide receivers, tight ends included, because guys like Kelsey, Goddard, and Mark Andrews are in the top 20 for pass catchers. They're tight ends, and they're not wide receivers. The Eagles got 3 in the top 21. Devontae Smith is the 21st in catches. So he's still above a lot of other wide receivers. And when you have 3 receivers with 40-plus catches, it just goes the ball is being shared. Devontae's only been targeted 53 times and caught 40 of them, so he's making the most of it. But we can't act like Devontae, like coming into the season, we talked about AJ Brown and Devontae, but low key, we kept mentioning, what if Goddard starts eating into it? Because Goddard is in his prime too. Like, we just paid him. It's his first real season of being the guy at tight end. We have a lot of weapons. That's not a bad thing to have.
It's only one ball. You know what I mean? And people fail to realize that, there are guys that's benefiting by not even being in the game plan as much. Like Quez Watkins is benefiting, whether we want to believe it or not. What happened with the guy down there in Dallas? What was his name? Cedric Wilson. He was third fiddle. He really didn't get the ball that much, and he ended up still getting a contract because people know his past body of work. So Quez Watkins not getting the ball, it doesn't really bother me. Devontae Smith's, numbers, he's involved, but he's not as involved. It's kind of weird. But people got to realize it's only one ball. Now, imagine if we were one of those teams that used the running back heavily in the passing game. It would be even worse for a lot of our wide receivers. But Jalen Hurts having a big 3 top targets with over 40 receptions, that's just good business for the whole, the entire offensive spread. But you do got guys like Pascal. He's got a touchdown on the season. Quez got a touchdown on the season. But, those opportunities from those guys, they will come few and far in between.
Yeah, we kind of knew that they were going to have to be sprinkled in the sense of when you looked at our 3 wide receivers, it was still going to be most likely Brown, Smitty, and Watkins with a little bit of Pascal. But we are seeing the uptick in Dallas Goedert being a monster tight end. Again, 500-plus yards. And when you look at Yak across the league, A.J. Brown ranks 12th. Now, there is 4 running backs in the Yak top 10, but Dallas Goedert is in there too. He's top 7 with Yak. So when you have this many skill players, right, the group, the skill position group, which is wide receivers, tight end, and running back, you can't look at a team in the NFL around the league and say, well, they're guaranteed better. Even Miami's 2 wide receivers are really nice. They're in the top 20 of a lot of categories, but that's it. Where's the tight end? Where's the running backs, right? We
Right.
have Goddard, AJ, and Smitty in the top 21 in catches, and Miles Sanders as a running back is still probably in the top 10. So when you look at total package skill group, there's nobody in the NFL that got a better skill position on offense than the Eagles. None.
I agree. I agree, and you also got to keep into account, Quez and Pascal. Their numbers might be a little spotty, but that's because we've been healthy by the grace of God. You know what I mean? Those guys haven't had to come and take on a bigger role. The guys who are supposed to be the guys are the guys. It is what it is. You know what I mean? Now, we can call some plays and make guys feel, more involved, but why would we fix something that's not broke? Our guys are performing. Our guys are getting the ball. Our guys are being able to shoulder the load. I'm just so impressed with Miles Sanders, to be honest, man. I'm really, really impressed with Miles Sanders. A lot of people been saying we needed another running back. Miles Sanders had a career high in carries this year. Miles Sanders is proven that he could be an RB1 on any team in the National Football League. So you hit it right on the head. When you're talking about skilled players in its totality, we are the best in the league. And what makes us the best in the league in that category is that Jalen Hurts at the drop of a dime or the flip of a switch can turn into a skilled player with his running ability. So, we definitely are a very, very deep, dynamic team right now. And, the sky's still the limit for us.
Yeah, and I just like that regardless of the schedule and what people might think, again, it's not as easy as people are trying to make it sound. No. And again, the way we are winning is different every week. It really is. And two things that impressed me is Jalen Hurts beating the blitz with his arm in back-to-back weeks. The Pittsburgh Steelers saw what the Arizona Cardinals did well in the second half, what the Dallas Cowboys did well in the second half, and they tried to attack us that way. Us coming off the bye week, we figured Pittsburgh, Blitzburg, they're always trying to send pressure, even without TJ Watt. Even more now that they don't got TJ Watt, we were going to come correct. A lot of one-on-ones, we made them pay, and we did that against the Texans too. The throw to Goddard in the clinching moments at the end of the game between the Tampa 2, that wasn't a blitz, but just Jalen Hurts really reading the pocket, reading the plays. Every game, I feel like he's learning something, and we got to understand he is, because he's not who he's going to be forever. You look at Tom Brady, that's who he is. Aaron Rodgers, that's who he is. Even Dak Prescott at this point is who he is in the 7th year. We still are going to see a better version of Jalen. It's just because of who he is and how he puts the work in and what we've been seeing week in and week out.
Yeah, the progression is crazy, man. I mean, it's safe to say that if you play Tampa 2 against Jalen Hurts, you're going to fail, because that's the defense that he's figured out. If you play man against Jalen Hurts, he's going to give it up to let his guys on the outside, go out there and make a play. That is something that he's figuring out. The only thing that really can hold the offense back is if the coaching staff starts to do different things. You know what I mean? One thing that I've noticed, teams are picking up on us in the 3rd and short or in the 4th and short situation. They're going to try to stop us from getting the QB sneak off. I believe in the Pittsburgh game. Then we call like a counter to the counter. Everybody's ready for the QB sneak, but we were 2 steps ahead. We even implemented a nice toss play to Miles. Was that against the Texans or Pittsburgh? But it was a toss play out there in the short yardage situation, and it was also a quick pass out there to Goddard in the short yardage situation. So we are understanding that people are trying to figure us out, and we have a plan B. The coaching staff has really been impressive as well, especially on the offensive side of the ball. Let's talk about the struggles in the run game, though, and defending the run game. That could be a concern coming down, coming down a deep part of the schedule. Which you got to see Derrick Henry. You got to see Zeke, who always gives us problems. You got to see Saquon Barkley, Jonathan Taylor. You got some running backs that you need to stop on the list coming up, man. What do you think we can do to improve our situation? It's looking like Jordan Davis is extremely missed.
Yeah, I think, he hit up a lot of things that we were doing. I think it's a combination of both. Just looking at that Texans game in general, I think there was a lot of light boxes due to Jonathan Gannon calling more pass pro, stopping the pass. And then at the end of the game, in the second half, he really focused on the run, and we were able to do better at it. But I think, the guys got to stop letting people run through them. We've had guys had a chance for tackle for losses, and number 31, Damon Pierce, just run right through it. So I think as much as I want to get on Jonathan Gannon for light boxes, we've had guys have opportunities to make the tackle. Epps, Maddox, and this is more of our secondary, but even guys like Fletch, Hargrave, you got to be able to secure the tackle. So I think
I agree.
The Eagles been doing a good job at finding what they need to correct and then, correcting it. Mind you, last year, Jonathan Gannon in the first 5 to 6 games, we couldn't stop the run either. And he did come out in the second half of the season with a recipe to stop the run. I'm hoping that as we see that now, it hasn't been as evident as it was last year. Last year, the first 5 games, we sucked. This year, you look at it, it's like Lions got us, but the Vikings didn't. Cowboys got us, but the Jags didn't. This team Texans got us, but the Steelers didn't. So we haven't have been bad. When we're bad, we're bad. When we're good, we're good. There's no in between. It gotta be more consistent though, stopping the run.
And I think that in between comes when you start to match what the other team is doing on the field. Like I looked at a little bit of the tape from the Texans game, and they were running 13 personnel. Was that 3 tight ends and 1 running back? They were running 3 tight ends. Obviously, that's like a jumbo package. Obviously, that's a running package. And we were playing 7 yards off.
And had 1 linebacker on the field.
And 1 linebacker on the field, right? So it's like, come on, man. That you're not even matching the energy. So when you game plan soft or when you scheme soft, you tackle soft. If we would have came out being more aggressive, that puts more guys in a position to swarm towards the ball. We were constantly caught against the Texans with 1 guy having to make a play. You know what I mean? Like, where's the gang tackling? Where's everybody being on the same page? You got dudes block. You got dudes in a passing style defense going against damn near goal line. It just didn't make sense. So Jonathan Gannon, I think he do got to be better. He definitely got to accept a little bit of the responsibility for making this a shutdown defense on the running side of the ball as well.
Yeah, I think it definitely still starts with Jonathan Gannon. Even though the players got to clean up some of their stuff, it starts with Gannon. Just as you mentioned, some of them things, you look at it and it's like, there was one possession, one drive where the Texans really ran the ball like 7 straight times. I'm sitting here live, like here we go, run 8 yards, another run 8 yards. I'm like, when are you going to just stop it? Just stop it.
I mean, and then think about it like this: it's Davis Mills, bro. Make him beat you. Now, Davis Mills could throw. He could throw. You know what I mean? I'm not going to act like he just don't have an arm at all. But you got Slay and Bradbury. No Brandon Cooks. Sell out. Stop Damian Pierce. And make Davis Mills beat you with who was out there. I don't even know.
Philip Dorsett and Chris Moore.
Right. Philip Dorsett out there, making plays due to miscommunication.
He did get Bradbury on the one.
Yeah, he got him. But it's like, come on. I could live with that rather than Damian Pierce just having his way. He almost had 100 yards, you know what I mean, in the first half. And I'm a Damian Pierce fan. I know what he brings to the table, you know what I mean? But just like every team we got coming up, if you stop the run, the game should be easy. That should be the emphasis, man, stopping the run. I think we need to start implementing some run blitzes, if you ask me.
Yeah, I agree, especially when you look at the teams that we're going to be facing soon.
Right.
Tennessee, the Giants twice, Dallas again. Even the Packers right now, Aaron Rodgers ain't the guy. They want to make the offense move. They're going to hand the ball to Aaron Jones and Dylan back there. But real quick, D Aldridge, #BirdGang for life with the $2 super chat. He said, "What up, y'all? I was at the game and I was lit. Listen, yo, were you in the crowd? Did you stay after the game and got into the crowd where they were chanting the old Jalen Hurts and Kelsey singing the Fly Eagles Fly song, the fight song?
I would have stayed for that too.
I would have stayed. Yeah.
Right.
That's tough. But again,
my God, Dave Aldridge, man, shout out to you, bro.
Another game where it's on the road, but we travel so well.
Right. It's been our calling card, and I think that's what makes a season special. Like, you know what I mean? When you're winning and the team goes along for the ride with you to give you that extra 12-man on the field situation, the extra oomph, I think that's what could push good teams over the hump. You know what I mean? And I was thinking about this too, man. So far, I guess we're at the halfway point of the season right now. And being as though we're at the halfway point, I think the Philadelphia Eagles got a lot of guys that you can make a case for all pro. You know what I mean? Let's talk about Gardner Johnson, lead the leagues in picks. And from the safety position, he's having an all-pro season. Kelsey, enough said. Jalen Hurts, when you're in MVP conversations, I think that will qualify you for an all-pro season. You know what I mean? Darius Slay has been regarded as one of the best cornerbacks in the game all season. So it's a lot of guys that have a hand in to why we are who we are this season.
Yeah. Speaking on it, Slay went to the podium not to the podium, but he went into that little Thursday night talking crew where Kelsey and them were sitting, and he was talking to Richard Sherman. And he was like, man, I was getting bored out there. They only threw it at me twice. Man, I'm getting bored. I want him to throw me a ball. That's what Slay's doing. And I feel bad for Bradbury, and he's holding his own. But Bradbury, everywhere Bradbury went, whether it's Carolina or the Giants, he was the best guy. So that being said, a game plan is going to be only throw at Bradbury if we have to, right? If a guy's open, if blah blah blah, go ahead and do it. But let's not make it a regular thing to throw to Bradbury. So guess what? Now he comes on with Slay, and Bradbury's been one of the most targeted cornerbacks in the league. He's doing good against it, right? He's holding passers to like 35-40% passer rating. So he's doing good, but he's never seen this much action in his life. And it's because Slay really do hold it down over there. And that's why Slay's picks over the years went down, even though this year it's pretty up with 3, is because you're only throwing at Slay if you have to. He don't get beat much. Every corner gets beat. This is an offensive-driven league. They got all the rules for the offense. But Slay, I gotta admit, if I'm someone like Slay, it gotta be getting boring a little bit when you just shadowing guys. They're like, not even gonna throw my way. Not even gonna throw.
I'm cool. Listen, I'm cool with that. That's why I would make Darius Slay travel. I would make him play the best wide receiver every game. You just take out their number one option, and Bradbury could play. Bradbury could shut down the number one guy too. So dog, this is a really, really good secondary, man. It's a really, really good secondary. And then Gardner Johnson, man. I mean, the best ball hawking safety we've had since Brian Dawkins, for real, man. He the best ball hawk that we had since Brian Dawkins, man. I mean, 5 safeties. I mean, 5 interceptions with damn near 7 more games left to play from the safety position. That's pretty impressive, man. That's pretty impressive. So that was low key a top 10 signing in Philadelphia Eagles history, Gardner Johnson, in my opinion.
Especially if we go ahead and lock him down for the 3 to 5 year deal.
That's a given.
Yeah, you got to do that. But once you fully lock him in and you look at everything, right? You look at 5+ interceptions already. Who knows where that's going to be? Then you look at what we actually gave up for him, a 5th and a 6th, and got back a 7th. And then you look at the deal we might give him and the fact that he's only 24. You got to move that in the top 5.
Yeah, you absolutely might have to move that in the top 5. It's a really, really good deal. You know what I mean? And these are guys, I don't think nobody's on our roster has ever been 8-0. You know what I mean? This is new territory for a lot of guys. This type of culture makes guys come back and makes guys take, team-friendly deals. It's been a lot of talk about, the money that Jalen Hurts is going to command, but I guess we'll cross that bridge when we get there. But, you know what I mean? A lot of mouths got to get fed during the offseason.
Hey, so Michael Feller with the $10 super chat, he said they feeling them buckets.
Oh, I appreciate that, bro. I'm glad you got yours, bro.
He said we still down here and folks was feeling them buckets, LB. There it is.
I appreciate that, man. Yeah, shout out to I forgot the kid's name, man. One of my homies, man. His son got his hat actually signed by Jalen Hurts. He was at the game as well, so that's definitely fire, man. Definitely dope to see y'all representing, man.
Yeah, and then to get the signature from the Hurts season, man.
Right. I don't even got that. You know what I mean? I don't even got that.
That's messed up. Hey, Trevor with the $5 super chat, he said, why was Kavon Wallace out there last game to start? Was CJ taking a number 2? I got PTSD of him missing his assignments. I was covering my face for all the plays almost. Yeah, man. And that's where it gets scary at the secondary. Look, we got to make sure a guy like CJ Gardner Johnson stays healthy.
Yeah, you have to, because that changes a lot. Listen, you know what, man? I want to look at the tape on some of Kavon Wallace snaps. I don't think he played bad. Man. We just not going to never give him no credit in Philly until he get a pick or something, or he scoop a fumble. Like he got to get a turnover, then we'll kind of forgive him. But I don't think he played bad. He did get beat on that first touchdown, but we got to understand something. Well, he didn't really get beat. He recognized that he was there. It was just a strong grab by the tight end.
Usually, him and Epps, it was double team.
Right.
That dude caught on both of them.
Epps had a bad game that week. Epps had a bad game, but Kavon Wallace in the past wouldn't have even diagnosed that it was a pass play. He would have been out of position. He wouldn't even would have been there. You know what I mean? So he's getting smarter. He's learning some things. He did get a good 3rd down stop, I believe.
Well, I don't think he played much. And low key, I did not go back and watch any of the film. And doing the live play-by-plays, the amount of times I got to go from my TV to the chat, to the TV to the chat. That's why I have to. I know what went on in the game. I watch it, but I don't get to see many replays because I'm looking at the chat then. And then so I really do always, even if I don't watch the all 22, I get the condensed version where you can watch the whole game in like 35, 40 minutes. Boom. But I haven't really checked it. I don't think he played much though.
No, yeah, he didn't play much. I think it was probably, I want to say around 10 snaps. So maybe Gardner Johnson was getting something taped or something. You know how that go. But, listen, the reality is this, man. He got to play. He got it. He's high on the depth chart, man. He's like, if somebody goes down, his playing time automatically increases. He has to play. He has to get reps. You know what I mean? And I'd rather him get some reps against the Texans and be ready in case something happened than him out there getting some reps against, a division rival or something, when that game matters. So we speak about the schedule in the future. We look at the totality of the NFC. When it's time for playoff time, who do you see that could be a threat for us in the playoffs?
A threat? Like right now, I'm still looking at the Dallas Cowboys is a team that I think when it all comes down to it, as they get better, and we hear the rumors, OBJ, they're trying to get OBJ. Who knows if they will, because the Cowboys do a lot of talking, not that much action. Right. So we'll see if OBJ goes there. But when you look across it, like the Rams, who were supposed to be good, yeah. The Packers, yeah. Tom Brady, I feel bad that he's going through it with all this stuff. I can't believe they really dragging his marriage through the NFL like that, but it's playing a part in just the downfall of Tampa.
It is. I agree wholeheartedly. I just feel like, at this point in the season, people have to, focus more on why the teams that they pick to be good aren't good and not worry about a team like us that's handling our business. Like, you put them in front of us, we beat them. That's the name of the game. Tom Brady lost to the Falcons this year. Come on, man. The Rams lost to Cooper Rush. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on. Joe Burrow lost to 3 backups. We got to be more concerned about why these guys that we put good names on are not performing. And this is how crazy the NFC is right now. Daniel Jones is a damn Pro Bowler. He would be, if it started right now, Daniel Jones would be in the Pro Bowl, Mike. The 3 quarterbacks from the NFC, the 3 quarterbacks no, it probably won't be Daniel Jones. It'll be Jalen Hurts, Kirk Cousins, and Geno Smith probably.
Yeah.
That's probably your 3 guys, you know what I mean, from the NFC that's going to the Pro Bowl. Daniel Jones would damn sure at least be an alternate. I mean, he's 6-2. That's how crazy it is. And Daniel Jones don't even have a 300-yard passing game this season. It's a lot of guys who have underachieved this season. You know what I mean? And we ain't played none of them. We ain't get the glory. We have not got the privilege of beating up on what seems to be washed up Tom Brady and the Bucs. We have not gotten the privilege to beat up on a Rams team that's out of sync. We have not gotten the privilege to beat up on Joe Burrow and some. We ain't get the privilege of beating on some of these guys. We play all young guys who could beat you any given Sunday, in my opinion. So as far as the schedule being easy for the Philadelphia Eagles, ain't no such thing as that when you win 8 straight.
Exactly, because there's the longevity of being able to win no matter what. We just saw the Chiefs. Again, the Chiefs lost to the Colts this year. The Colts are tanking. And before they tanked, they beat the Chiefs, who are a top 3 team in the NFL. Silverback with the $10 super chat saying showing support. Still can't get at you, my guy.
Man, I don't know why that is, bro. I don't know, man. I don't think I blocked you, man. I keep saying I'm going to fix it and look into it, but I forget every time, bro.
I'm going to text LB an hour or 2 later today.
Yeah. Mike going to send me the reminder. We're going to play today. I'm going to look into that for sure, bro.
Real quick, though, Dario Gomez with the $5 super chat. Who do you guys blame more for the awful run defense? Players or coaches? Hashtag fly Eagles fly. Hashtag 8-0. So if you had to pick, we just talked about they both have responsibility. But if you had to go a 60-40 in it, where you going, LB?
I'm going coaches 60, players 40. Even though it was some grotesque missed tackles and just Gardner Johnson tried to hit stick somebody. Bro, wrap up. You know what I mean? Wrap up. Like he tried to hit stick Damian Pierce. Damian Pierce bounced off that. Like, what are you doing? Kept going. Wrap up. You know what I mean? The fundamentals was spotty against the Texans, but like we said, man, we saw 13 personnel out there with one linebacker in the middle. What is that? That's this. Supposed to call timeout when we see stuff like that. But yeah, I gotta go 60-40, man. Coaches, 40 players.
Yeah, I gotta co-sign that just because of the light boxes. When you look at a team that hasn't been able to move the ball passing throughout their season, not saying just against us, because Mills did come out with a little 5 for 5 deal. They came out, Slay on his podcast on the volume said we started out slow, and he talked about the missed tackles. But when you know that they're running the ball, back to back to back to back, and you decide to play a light box, it starts there. That's where it starts. So I definitely got to go coaching 60-40. We were talking before we got to the super chats about the team that scares us the most. Not really scares us, but as playoffs come, right? I still did mention the Cowboys because I think that, their defense is for real. Am I really nervous about how Dak's been playing with the offense? No, but their defense is for real. We did score 26 on it, but I'm still not going to let go the Niners. I think Jimmy G's been struggling. I think if that team gets healthy, their defense too, you don't want to be messing with. So I'm gonna look at the Niners, the Cowboys, and the Vikings. Although we beat them, but they did get better at the trade deadline. If there was one position on their offense they needed to upgrade, other than maybe beefing up their offensive line, is they didn't have a playmaking tight end. Now they got Hawkinson, right? A guy who was probably the number one or number two target on the lines for years. He's gonna add another element to helping them run the ball, helping free up coverage for Jefferson. TJ Hawkinson is a good pickup. We will not see the Vikings until the playoffs, though, and it looks like they're going to make it. Mind you, there's 7 teams that make it now. So there's going to, right now, if the playoffs started, I think the whole NFC East will be in it. Even Washington will be the last team. The Washington Commanders at 4-4 would be the last team. They would be probably the 7th seed right now. It'd be the Eagles, Cowboys, Giants, Washington, all in the playoffs. Because of that extra team, it used to be only 6. It used to be four division leaders, 2 wild cards. Now you can have 3 wild cards. Right now, it's literally the whole NFC East in the playoffs, which is nerve-wracking because no matter how much we are better than them, when you play, your little brother beats you once in a while, right? You know what I mean? Right. Your little brother always finds a way. You woke up a little tired today, you play Madden, he beat you, he's gonna go run and tell the world. He won't beat you again, but he beat you that one time. It's weird playing a division opponent in the playoffs.
That's why the number 1 seed is so important this year, because only one team get it, man. One team get it. We're in prime position for that bye, and then we get to look at the landscape that first week. We get to look at everybody that beat each other up, and we get to look at the remnants, and they got to come through Philly. I just don't think nobody winning in Philly this year. You know what I mean? I just do not see that. You know what I mean? So if it go through Philly, I really, really like our chances against anybody. But I'm going to co-sign a lot what you said. I think the biggest threat to us right now, it would probably be the Vikings. You know what I mean? Even though the Vikings will have to come back to Philly, everybody will have to come back to Philly as it stands. But I think it'll be the Vikings, man. The Vikings and the Cowboys, I'll give the tie to those guys. The Vikings definitely feel like they could have put up a better effort against us. And you know how the Cowboys feel about us, man. You know, and we feel the same way about them. I just think in Philly in the playoffs, that moment will be way too big for a lot of those guys. And they're not walking out of that building with an L. So it's unfortunate that the best competition, you know what I mean, is in our division. You know what I mean? We got to respect it, though. Everybody in the division is above 500 and above. So, you know what I mean? You got to put respect on that.
So, shout out to RF. He said, LB, how much to make Mike a new intro?
If Mike want an intro, I'll do it for free. What you talking about? That's my guy. Mike don't need no intro.
Listen, hey, the dude that did my intro, shout out to him. It was just a subscriber that wanted to show love. So, of course, that's not me doing it. I don't got bars like that. You know what I mean? But I was telling LB to make something for Goat Talk because, like I said, when I do my videos, I put the little Philly Talk with Philly Mike. He does it 17 birds. But Goat Talk, we got the 30-second count ticker. So, you know what I mean? We can always have a little Goat Talk.
No, yeah. I'm going to work on that.
But yeah, I agree with you. The NFC in its totality has just been weird. Like, Seattle's a team that's going to probably make the playoffs or probably win their division. Who knows what the Niners do? And that's where one of the NFC East teams could get kicked out of the playoffs. If the Niners start winning and Seattle continue winning, you might get 2 teams from that.
Yeah, and the Cardinals could definitely get hot at any time too. You know what I mean? They can start getting hot and start winning some games. So, a lot of people are still in it. You know what I mean? Nobody's really out of it. You know what I mean? You got to, who's really out of it? The Bucks not really even out of it. That division ain't good. Yeah. You know what I mean? The Bucks really can still make some noise. I can't really sit here with confidence and say that the Falcons are going to win that division, even though they're number 1 right now. You know what I mean? I just don't see it happening. I feel like Tom Brady is going to find a way, you know what I mean, to win this division. But as of right now, 2 games under 500 for the first time in his career, not really a threat to anybody. So it's like this season, beating Tom Brady doesn't really hold any weight. I don't think so. You know what I mean? If you want respect on your name, beat the Philadelphia Eagles this year. You know what I mean? If you want to feel like somebody beat us, nobody's been able to do it. It feels good to be 8-0. It just feels good. You know what I mean? It just feels good. So I ain't listen. If it come through Philly, man, we the favorites regardless, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, we're going to be the favorites in every game the rest of the season, let alone playoffs. And that first round bye, although there's only one team that gets it, would be lovely. You don't got to play, and then if you do that, then you got to get 3 wins, and you won it all. That's it, 3 in a row. We just got 8 in a row. We would need 3 in a row. But looking at what comes up next for the Philadelphia Eagles, Washington, Carson Wentzless. As soon as I don't know how and why, but at the end of that Texans game, a bunch of Washington fans came into my live stream and was talking about I'm actually happy y'all won because we want to be the first ones to knock you off. I said, really, bruh?
But this the thing, man. In Philly, listen, their best chance is Heineke. Carson Wentz didn't have a snowball's chance in hell. You know what I mean? They barely escaped Sam Ellinger. You know what I mean? Sam Ellinger. You know what I mean? They went on a prayer, basically a Hail Mary pass. McLaurin, helped them out. Like, come on, man. We better than them in all facets of the game. We're going to be able to pass on those guys. They got a good front. I think Chase Young might be back for that game, but he's going to be rusty, jumping off sides. We're going to use and abuse those guys, man. I ain't worried about no goddamn Washington. I ain't worried about Washington coming to Philly, man. Let's sweep them, get them out of here, and let's move on to what we got to move on to.
Yeah, I agree. Heineke definitely gives them a better chance, but when your chance was already slim to none, better is not going to even anything out.
Right.
Let's talk about Jordan Mailata a little bit. I think everybody is really going hard on that because I've seen it on Twitter a lot. Listen, he struggled against the Texans. He even had a not so good game against the Steelers, if you want to be honest. But now the narrative is he's been playing bad all year. No, and this is not from opposing teams. This is some of our own. This is some of our own on Twitter. Eagle fans saying that he's played bad all season. I don't believe that. He to get beat twice in a row by Jerry Hughes, who's 34 years old. That's not good. But to say he hasn't done it all season, he needs to step up. I do like what Nick Sirianni said. Nick Sirianni said that one time he got beat really bad, where he looked lost, where he looked very slow. It was the communication between coach and staff and the offensive line. They called the wrong play or something. So give him the benefit of the doubt there. But what's your take on Mailata's last 2 iffy games?
I ain't worried about Mailata, man. I think Mailata, he gonna step it up. Jerry Hughes, he beat Lane Johnson too.
Yeah,
pretty bad. They switched him to Lane side and he beat Lane. We almost got called on the safety for that one. The dude Hughes was just on one. He was having a great game, a phenomenal game. But Mailata was getting cooked that game. But you know what I mean? I don't think it's something that's going to keep happening. You know what I mean? I think as the level of competition, goes up, then the level of play goes. Some people need to know that they're going against a team that they got to beat. But yeah, man, off games happen. Off games happen. God forbid the first off game Jalen Hurts has. God forbid. You know what I mean? Because it's going to happen. At some point, Jalen Hurts is going to have a bad game. Now, good players have a lot of distance in between these bad games. They don't make it an every week thing. Mailata struggles 2 more weeks in a row, then that's something we got to talk about. Because he does, hold down the blind side of Jalen Hurts. But am I worried about Jordan Mailata? No. I've seen way too many great games out of Jordan Mailata, especially this game this year alone. What I would like to see, though, is us using the run game just a little more in certain situations. Maybe that can help out a guy like Jordan Mailata. But, I ain't worried about Mailata.
Yeah, me either. I got to see it more consistently to be even slightly worried. He's a great athlete. And again, everybody think that he is who he is. No, he's not. He's still growing as a player too. And that's what's good about that.
I love Jason Kelce, one of the best. But, Jason Kelce, I was more worried about him against the Texans than I was Mailata because, these phantom snaps have been happening a little frequently lately. You know what I mean? I don't like it, man, because I guess how this works is the left guard, the right guard, he looked at the quarterback and signals to the quarterback, that everything's good. Now we can snap the ball. Before that even happened, and he gave Kelce the time to snap the ball, Kelce just put it in Hurts' lap. That's how we got that, that first turnover. You know what I mean? So, sometimes when your center loses focus, turnovers happen. When Mailata gets beat, you know what I mean, we could put somebody on the other side to chip him. So, yeah, I was a little more worried about Kelsey rather than Mailata, but both of those guys will be great moving forward, man. I ain't worried about it too much.
Yeah, I agree. I think the run game in the first half, situationally, we can implement that a little bit more too.
Right.
We've been doing a good job at attempts in the second half. And against the Steelers, I loved it because that's how we really put them away. We were able to successfully knock off a couple 20-piece yard runs via Miles Sanders. But yeah, sitting at 8-0, we already know, we talked about this. We're going to always get the other team's best shot.
Right.
And rightfully so. Just the NFC landscape is so weird, and it's really the perfect time to be as dominant as you are, because like I said, there's no such thing as an easy championship for sure. But let's just say if the Eagles were this dominant and it was the Packers of old, the Buccaneers of old, the Rams of last year, right? Then you would be talking about, yeah, the Eagles are dominant, but they got a lot of teams they got to go through. It's going to be a flip of the coin type thing in the playoffs. But right now it's been like, the Eagles, the Chiefs, and the Bills, and then the rest of them. And with that being said, we don't see the Chiefs or the Bills into the big ticket.
Right. And like I said, man, it's unfortunate, that the competition is in our division. Like if you want to see a great playoff game in the NFC, it might have to be Dallas and Philly meeting in the playoffs.
Imagine that in the NFC Championship.
You know what I'm saying? It really could happen. The NFC Championship game could be in Philadelphia, versus the Dallas Cowboys. And they just not walking out of there alive. So, I mean, it is what it is. Oh, what I mean? I think the Vikings will give somebody a good run, the San Francisco 49ers. But, playoffs are different, man. Playoffs are different. And we got a lot to prove when we get to the playoffs. You know what I mean? And Jalen Hurts has to, win the playoff game or 2 or 3. You know what I mean? This is a really good roster. And the way that he's matured.
He wins 3. That's
right.
The thing.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. The way that he's matured, man, like he definitely can win a playoff game. That's all I'm saying. He definitely can get to the NFC Championship game. So I'm excited, man. I don't care who it is. I just don't think nobody in the NFC, I for sure can say can knock us off. Not in Philly.
It's going to be really tough. And like you said, you get that first round bye, you might come off a little rusty. Not this team. I don't believe this team will come off rusty. With that being said, because one of our most complete games was beating down on the Steelers, and that was off a bye week. So that's good to know that if we get the first round bye, we get to the divisional round, boom, we get a W there, and we're automatically NFC Championship. Could you imagine if this was our ride to the Super Bowl? The Giants in the NFC in the divisional round. Hold on. Could you imagine if this was our ride to the Super Bowl, right? First round bye. You see the Giants and the Cowboys both win. They get their little kudos. We chilling. We get the Giants in the divisional round. We beat them. The Cowboys win to go to the championship for the first time in
27 years.
27 years. And then we knock them out. Beating the Giants and the Cowboys to go to the Super Bowl.
Listen, it's what dreams are made of. You know what I mean? It's exactly how this was. Yo, they are so upset that we are so good this year that everything is being pulled out. Did you see the little chart on IG? It says the Eagles' first 8 wins beat Cooper Rush.
Oh yeah.
Wait. One of them was beat primetime Kirk Cousins. Beat the Cardinals without D-Hop. Like, what? They making anything up, man, to discredit our body of work. But even a 1-5-1 team with a chance to give somebody their first L of the season at 7-0 will play their hearts out. Everybody's going to give us their best shot. Heineke is no different because Heineke firmly believes. Now, Heineke got a chip on his shoulder. He's dangerous. He believes that he should have been the starting guy and they should have never even went and got Carson Wentz. He's trying to prove that theory right now. Yeah,
and again, bad games happen. That's why the NFL is the most unpredictable sport in the world, especially when you talk about playoffs, because the playoffs are set up for the better team in NBA, MLB, NHL. The better team is set up to win, because if they lose game 1, well, guess what? The better team still has multiple games to rise to the occasion. In football, the better team don't always win. And in the playoffs, if you lose, you don't get 2 or 3 games to make up. You're out. You're done. Right. So I think that's crazy.
The more focused team is the team that wins usually, when you get to NFL playoffs. Like when you're focused and your coach is focused, you got a better game plan and you're not solely relying on talent. I feel like you get stuff done. Like the Eagles are focused. That's why I'm glad this is a mini bye, because I just see us baptized in Washington coming off of the extra rest.
Facts. Martin said, "What's good, brothers? Check your mailbox at home, LB."
All right, bet I got you. As soon as we done streaming.
Yeah, and so again, even though I would love to beat Dallas in the NFC Championship, I would also love Dallas to not even get past the first round.
I don't want them to make the playoffs.
It's really hard though with the NFC. Like, you know what I mean?
Listen, it's very hard, but listen, Green Bay and the Vikings, the next two. I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying, and you got to go to Minnesota. Like for sure, I don't think they beat in Minnesota.
Oh no! I got it. Listen, I got a tweet going off. It's Dallas is running with it. I said, I forgot exactly what I said, but I said that because when I saw that chart, I got pissed off. But I'm not gonna quote tweet the chart and put it on my timeline and try to dissect. I'm not explaining all our wins.
I did.
But I'm not explaining it to Dallas. I'll explain like we could do it with our people, but
right.
I wasn't explaining it to Dallas, right? So I just said, what I say? Where is it at? When the Cowboys lose to the Vikings, like they already saying that we the only reason we beat the Vikings is because of primetime Kirk Cousins, right?
Right.
Well, when they lose to them, they're gonna say that they lost to him because they weren't on primetime or something. Like it doesn't count. Like you can't if you beat the Minnesota Vikings past 4:15, it doesn't matter. Like it's crazy. It's crazy. But Minnesota's gonna handle it.
They're so hypocritical though, because this is what happened to them last season. Last season they had Dak Prescott had some type of record. They had 3 guys with all the records that they broke last season. 1,000-yard rusher, 1,000-yard receiver, all of that stuff. First time in NFL history. They had the 3rd easiest schedule last year, Mike.
Mm-hmm.
They won a division with the 3rd easiest schedule. And then Jimmy G put them in the backwood. So it's crazy. It's like, come on. Like you did, come on. Like, don't be hypocritical, man. Like, first, you wake up one day and everybody tell you how hard it is to get a win in the NFL. Then when you start racking up wins, you ain't played nobody. Come on. We beat the number 2 seed in the Vikings. We beat the number 3 seed in Dallas. All in all, we handle business in our conference. If you want us to go see the other guys in the AFC, I'm sorry for you. We play in the NFC. I'm sorry. You know what I mean? If we would have to play them, they'd have been fooled too. What difference would it make? You know what I mean? But, you know, we're going to cry over spilt milk. If you don't like us, beat us.
That's my main thing, too.
Right.
And, yes, Cooper Rush was the quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys. But let me just say this. Leading up to that week, all the outlets still had Dallas as a top 7, top 10 team in the power rankings, right? Listen, Cooper Rush has played 4 games, has 0 turnovers. That's good. The Dallas Cowboys defense is the best defense in the league. That's good. They're ranking in the top 5, top 7 in the power rankings. This is a great team. They still have the tools to beat Philly. Then we smack them, and it's all that's out the window. They weren't ever top 7, blah, 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 blah.
The calling card this whole season on the road to 6-2 was never the offense. The best offensive explosion that they had was just last week against the Bears. Never the offense. To put this in even better perspective, I know they're going to say I'm hating or whatever. I don't care. To put this in better perspective, look at Davis Mills' first 3 games.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
You saw that tweet, right? You saw that. They hate that, but it's the facts. Dak Prescott is starting off just like Davis Mills. He's starting off just like a 1-5-1 quarterback right now. So it's like, come on, man. Dak Prescott, 593 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 picks. David Mills, 600-something yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 picks in the first 3 games. The defense has been the calling card. We were the first team to put up over 20 on them. We were the first team to throw multiple touchdown passes on them. We did that to the defense. Got nothing to do with your quarterback play, man.
Correct. And that defense is the defense that's got you them 6 wins. And
right.
But wasn't good enough to get you a 7th win against the Philadelphia Eagles. And that is what matters. And that's what they said they were going to use to beat us. And so far, Dak Prescott, if you want to look at 2020, Dak Prescott, he was great. He was good in the regular season. Not in the playoffs, but in the regular season, he was good. However, what I've seen of Dak, he's better than Cooper Rush, but the Tampa Bay game and in the next 3 games, it's not nothing to be like, this is why we're going to now be the best team in the NFC and all that. But like I said, I think when you look at the teams across the NFC, it's the Vikings, the Cowboys, maybe the Niners, but I won't put it past teams like Tampa and Green Bay to figure it out later. But
Right.
hopefully they don't.
Think about it like this. I mean, Dallas don't even believe they're ready. They out here begging for Odell Beckham. After all offseason, they screamed that CeeDee Lamb was the best wide receiver in the division. They're out here begging. I'm talking about cup up, Mike. Cup. I still eat noodles. I'm from the hood. They out here begging the cup up, Mike. The cup up. They out here looking for anything, any type of help.
Fair change.
We supposed to be scared of some peasants like that? Come on, bro. Odell Beckham can't save you. I don't want to do it, Mike. I don't want to do it. I don't even want to get in my mood on them boys, man. They trash, though.
But before we get up out of here, let's hit the Silverback said, are you guys concerned about the league targeting our run defense from here on out? Like, we talked about the run defense being bad, and now that they see it, look, the Texans came out with a game plan. They said, if we have any chance to beat them, it's to run the ball, play action, do stuff like that. And it was successful at times. We're going to be playing some heavy run teams that can run the ball. And even if they haven't ran the ball a lot, they might just do it against us. Like early in the season, part of the reason why we were low-key not that bad statistically against the run is because teams didn't run against us because we put them in bad situations in the second quarter with dropping 21 on their head real quick. Now teams are going to say, hey, we're down double digits to the Eagles. But the only way to come back is to stick with the run. How you feel about that, LB?
I think they're going to start with the run now. I think teams, that's the game plan. Because when you run the ball, if you have success, you control time of possession. Listen, our offense has now been labeled as explosive. You know what I mean? Everybody is saying we are explosive now. You want to keep an explosive offense off the field, run the ball, control time of possession. It's up to us to stop these guys, not have them have these lengthy drives and get the ball back to our explosive offense. That's one of the only ways you could beat a Patrick Mahomes or a Josh Allen, play keep away. Guys are playing keep away with us, and we're giving them an opportunity to. We got to stop the run and make them throw and beat us.
Yeah, I totally agree. If it wasn't the game plan for the next couple opponents,
it's about to be.
It's about to be 100%. Right. Seeing how the Texans kind of hung in there. And honestly, the Texans were the first team that was the first time we went into halftime not with a double-digit lead. So, really? And the reason that is because, or with the lead, not a double-digit lead, with the lead. First time we didn't go into halftime with the lead. And it was because the Texans said, we're going to come out and run the ball as much as possible. And it low-key worked. It kept the explosive offense off. Our offense was doing whatever we want with them, except for that one possession where we fumbled the ball, the turnover. But it was literally score, go down, fumble, go down, score. So, like, again, as
clearly the game plan against the Texans was to let Jalen Hurts have a day. That's how it started out in the beginning. Like, Jalen Hurts is his homecoming. Let him throw the ball. Let him put on an exhibition. That's what they were trying to do until that fumble happened. Once the fumble happened, we kind of dialed back the passing and was like, let's just put our hands on this game and win the game. Miles Sanders should have had a career day against the Texans.
Should have.
Miles Sanders, I mean, the holes were just ridiculously big. You know what I mean? Miles Sanders should have had a career day.
Yeah. And I want to say this real quick because Davis is scheduled to be out from 4 to 6 weeks. He was put on IR, so the earliest he can come back is 4 weeks, and it's to be anywhere between 4 and 6. I'm not rushing this guy back at all.
No,
We're 8-0. This is a 350+ pound guy at 6 something. A high ankle sprain or whatever it was. You do not want to rush him back. It could easily re-aggravate. So listen, he needs to be back and ready to go at the end of the season, maybe get a game or two under his belt, 3 games to get back in shape and then use him for playoffs. Like, there's no way with our schedule we're going to fall off. Even if teams try to run the ball on us. Look, I'm not saying we will or won't have an undefeated season, but we're not losing more than 2 games.
Right. And, I thought so when you have a guy on IR, that opens up a roster spot, right?
Yes, that's how we got Marvin Wilson up. Marvin Wilson was up there. He did decent this game.
I would have got another defensive tackle.
That's who it is, Marvin Wilson.
Well, no, I would have signed. We elevated him, right?
Yeah.
I would have signed somebody. That's me. I would have signed another defensive tackle. You know what I mean? Like the best defensive tackle available. Like I'd have been knocking on Ndamukong Suh door. Hey, you trying to win the Super Bowl? You know what I mean? I would have did that veteran minimum.
Real quick, shout out to Lazarus. He said Jimmy G smoking on that Cowboys pack. LB, what's up with that dude on Twitter talking about starting Minshew over Hurts? Yeah, that dude is weird.
He weird, man. I think it was a parody account, so I deleted it. I jumped the gun. When I seen it, I was ready to go guns blazing on him, but man, he's an idiot.
He is an idiot. No, he's legitly a racist. Like, no, he really
is.
Right. He really is. He really is. I mean, he really is.
But I respect it because he put it right there for us to see. I ain't gotta wonder.
It's rough. Before we get up out of here, because we're closing on an hour, and make sure y'all go and enjoy y'all football season, get some bets in, do all that extra stuff. Listen, Android users, if you're in my chat, on the top of my chat is a pin link. Chalkboard app, it's free. It was only for iPhone users for the large portion of the season. They just got it for Android. So we be talking Eagle news, rumors, and all that behind the scenes. Sign up is free. Make a little custom name, come in here and chat it up. Like I said, we always, and sometimes real talk, the chat be letting me know before I know. Like if I don't get the Twitter notification, I got my notification turned off for this chat. Someone be like, yo, this person's traded to this person or whatever. I'm like, all right, well, thank you. Let me make a video. They be going hard in it. But I got to ask you, LB, what did you think of Howie Roseman talking to the fans in Houston?
Bruh, like he was beating his chest. They talk about we forgive you. Like, what you mean you forgive me? Go ahead. What did he say, Mike? He said, what you mean you forgive me? I got you your first effing Super Bowl. You should be happy. And then I turn around and I curate this team. You 8-0. You forgive me. That sign shouldn't have been there. That sign shouldn't have been there. Howie Roseman has been more than the best general manager for us for the last couple of years, bro. I know he has some up and downs, but Howie had to have that moment. He had to let people know, stop playing with me, bro. I'm executive of the year out here. You know what I mean? He had to have that moment, so I ain't mad at it.
No, I loved it. I watched it multiple times. And the crazy thing is, though, the sign said what we've been saying. Like in my video, I threw you in there too. I said 500 LB and me, because the whole offseason has been Howie Roseman is back, right? Howie Roseman, we forgive him for the Rager and the Whiteside. And so we've all said that at least once or twice. And the sign pretty much said we forgive you for like not just his totality of his work, but pretty much for Rager and Whiteside. And it's so the sign says we forgive you, Howie, and Howie we trust. And it says AJ Brown, great trade or something. And it has the X on like Rager and Whiteside. But I could just imagine Howie before the game, right? 7-0 in his quarterback that he drafted, hometown, trying to get to the first Eagle team to get to 8-0. And he's there pregame, because this was a pregame. And he looks over and he sees this big ass sign that says, Howie, we forgive you. And yo, just the way he walks over there, right? Nonchalant. Yo, he did it like a G. And listen, GMs don't look. I'm surprised he talked that way. Like he could have said it so many ways, but I loved everything about it. He walks over. He's like, all right. He says, wait a minute. He says, wait a minute. I'm forgiven for getting you your first Super Bowl, for your first bleeping Super Bowl. And he goes right away to bleep you. Let's go. And then he goes to the Eagle fan on the sideline, takes a picture, and walks off to the Howie. Howie
a boss, man. Howie is a boss, man. And that energy has trickled down to the players, bro. It's trickled down to the players, man. Bro, 8-0, Mike. Come on, bro. We one of them ones, bro. This what we wanted. This what we wanted, man. So I'm super excited. I can't wait to see the team in action again next Sunday. But I'm glad the guys getting some rest.
Yeah, big time. Like I said, to do that and then just quick take a picture with an Eagle fan and just be on your way. And then the fans didn't even get mad. They respected him coming at their necks. When he said that to them, that made the cheers go even louder. Howie's one of them ones. And like you said, right. I had Dave Spadero on the channel a couple days ago. And I said to him, yo, Howie be fleecing people. And Dave was like, whoa. I don't think it is fleecing. I don't think Howie wants to be known as the fleecer, because he has to get along with all GMs to make the trades. And I was like, well, look, at the end of the day, when you get like the Saints are happy they got something for CJ Gardner-Johnson because he was going to walk. But when I say Howie's fleecing, it's because Howie reads the room better than any GM, in the sense that the Saints are going to let him go for free. Maybe somebody's going to sign him to a bigger deal than I can give him. So let me call the Saints up quick, make them give him to me for 5th or 6th, which they're winning something. But in the end of the game, when you got a safety that has 5 interceptions for a 5th and 6th round pick, that's a fleece. And they was like, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, he's like, he's very calculated, man. He's calculated. So
Facts.
I'd rather have him on my side than be against him. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. And I said, if I am a GM and my phone rings and I see it's Howie Roseman, I'm gonna say, I'm gonna let it go to voicemail first. I want to hear his spiel so I can think about what I'm gonna say.
You need days to like study what he's trying to give you. You know what I mean? You got to study it because some way you coming out on the losing end.
Yeah, shout out to Big Red with the $20 super chat. Man, I was going to let LBZ make it with that Cowboy fans crying for OBJ. Come on, man. Stop it. We got Dakzilla, baby.
Okay. We'll see. See y'all in the playoffs.
We'll see y'all in the playoffs, right?
Yes.
And yo, can you believe this? Yo, really? I was playing Madden the other night, and this is another thing that people are mad in Cowboy Nation. They all want to play me in Madden now because I told them I play. So literally, I be turning my mic on all the time. I'm trying to talk trash, even respectfully trash. You know what I mean? You could be Eagles versus Bills. I want to just talk a little football trash, chop it up. The dude had his mic off the whole time. He was a Cowboy fan. I went up 20-0. I was about to kick the extra point, and I knew he was going to quit just how he plays. He wasn't good. So I'm not saying like I'm the best, but the dude literally turns on his mic on, was like, I'll see you December 24th. So I said that on Twitter, and now every Cowboy fan like trying to play me in Madden, talk about they're gonna spank me. I'm just ignoring them all, but like, bro, he really said that to me.
I was thinking about this. I think I gotta trade my Xbox in and get the PlayStation, bro. I'm an avid Xbox player, but I feel like all the smoke is on PlayStation. So I'm gonna give me a PlayStation this week. I'm gonna trade my Xbox.
Yeah, man, do it. They got the PS5s now in stock. Like you can go to stores and get them now. For the longest time, you had to just like be one of the ones that get it quickly offline or something whenever they.
I don't want to lose my record though, man. I already got like 100 bodies on Madden on Xbox.
Yo, you know how many bodies? Again, well, listen, with YouTube, my job, and all the kids and the wife. Literally, I think I'm like, I got like 11 games online under my mat. But listen, I've been playing Madden for a long time, so I know how to transition. But this one's a little different. I'm only 11. I'm thinking like 8-3 or 7-4. You know what I mean?
I love this one, yo. I love this one, man.
It is fun.
I think since our roster is good, it's even better. Like, yo, it's like I really got a no-fly zone defense, bro. Like, just don't even throw, bro. Do not throw on me. Gardner Johnson gonna get it. Slade gonna get it. Brad, you know what I mean? So I'm really enjoying this one, man. And I've only been playing with the Eagles since I was like in the 3rd grade. So when our teams are trash, I got to take them beatings online playing with a trash Eagles team. So yeah, it's definitely fun.
Yeah, like I said, I want to start playing Madden more. I'm trying to free my schedule up to do it, and I want to start streaming some games on here too. So, on a day where we're not playing, like on a Saturday, maybe play a couple games live, talk about the Eagles with the people here, and play a couple games. I got to figure that setup up here, but I'm trying to get my gaming on for sure. But I do like this one. It's tough. Shout out to Dario Gomez with the $50 banger. He said, I'm not letting this stream end with the Cowboy fan donating 20. My man, Eagles always coming.
Yes, sir. Now we can end properly. You know what I'm saying? My guy, Craig Calloway, what's up with you?
He said PS5 is where it's at.
Right. I'm going to get that. But I've been playing Xbox since like Afghanistan, bro. It's hard, bro. All my army buddies, we play Call of Duty. We just Xbox people. I
top them both.
Got to break away. I gotta break away. I ain't got that much time. I have 2 consoles.
Yeah, right. But once again, shout out to everybody in the building. We going on 1 hour. Go talk to podcast. Eagles 8-0 on a mini bye. Yes, Dario Gomez says, no way a Cowboy fan on an Eagles stream is going to send the biggest super chat. Not happening. Eagles always outdoing them like we've been since the start of the season. You got anything you want to say before we get out of here, LB?
No, man. Enjoy football. Enjoy some time with the fam. Your 1 o'clock ain't got to be caught up today, man. And, next week we're going to get that 9th one, man. And tap in. Wednesday. Definitely make sure you catch my segment with me and Trey Thomas. It'll be our 2nd video. You know what I mean? We're going to be talking a little bit of mojo, a little bit of Eagles football. It's going to be lit. Listen, I could get Trey on GOAT Talk, man. We might get Trey on GOAT Talk, man. We could work on that. It's definitely going to be lit.
Yeah. Check it out. And like I said, we will be dropping content. There'll be a lot of stuff to talk about because the Eagles are everybody's target. and we gonna keep this undefeated streak going. If we thought 8-0 was good, it's just gonna be a bigger party each and every week because we broke the
Right.
streak now.
That 10-0, I'm gonna be like, oh, my chest. I don't know what I'm gonna do at 10-0.
That double digits and O is gonna be the one. It's gonna be the one. Until next time, y'all know what time it is. We are out. Peace.